Hey everybody, it's Charlie Morgan here and welcome to another video for the YouTube channel. So apologies for the absence, I obviously didn't record anything last week. I'm still unwell with COVID, but I figured I can't keep taking time off. I've got to get back to the YouTube grind, so to speak. So for those of you who are joining the channel for the first time, we've got quite a few new subscribers recently. Welcome. I'm glad you subscribed. My name's Charlie and I help marketing agencies build and scale and grow and get more customers. Basically, I've done that for myself and now I have other people, blah, 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 you know the drill. Now, today I want to talk about a mindset shift you can make for your objection handling on sales calls. If you haven't got enough sales calls right now, when you have enough sales calls, your next problem will become objections. There's two problems agencies tend to face with acquisition. The first is actually booking appointments, and the second is like handling their objections, because anyone can ask some questions and have some cool pitching, but then the prospect's like, oh, I don't know, and then you're just like, oh, fine, whatever. In today's video, I'm going to give you just a real quick little mindset shift you can make, and if you make this mindset shift, it'll make the objection handling part a lot easier. So this channel is basically built to help people help grow agencies, because most agencies are really struggling to get clients for multiple reasons, but objection handling is one of them, so let's talk about it. So the premise of this this concept, this idea, basically revolves around the fact that when you're handling objections, you need to help the person get out of their own way. So let me articulate this with an example. So a while ago, we had an agency owner join our program, and he was objecting. He was like, oh, just let me think about it, let me take some time, or I want to do this, first. And I said to him, I was like, mate, oh, there's my battery thing. I was like, mate, do you think that this is going to work? Like, if you buy it and you do it, do you believe that you have the confidence that what I'm saying is true and that we can help you? And he was like, yeah, I actually do. Like, I do think that you can genuinely help me. And I was like, okay, well, obviously you want to think about it. I'm assuming that's just because there's a bit of fear, a bit of anxiety. You can feel something in you that's just making you feel a bit uncomfortable, right? And he was like, yeah. And that there is empathy, because when you can actually acknowledge someone's emotional state and tell them how they feel back to themselves, then it creates a lot of trust. And he was like, yeah, like I do want to do it because I've seen the results and I've seen the testimonials and you've got the guarantee and this is all there, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I'm not pitching the program. And I said to him, I was like, all right, mate, well, listen, insert his name here. I'm not going to give anything away. I was like, look, my job here then is basically to help you get out the way of yourself. Because if logically, from a business perspective, you know it's the right decision to make, but emotionally you're struggling, then we need to work together to overcome these emotions. And I'm not going to sit here and like try and handle your objections. Instead, I'm going to sit here and try and help you nurture a mindset that allows you to remove the emotions that you know shouldn't be there to prevent you from making the decision you should be making. And this is a really profound way of handling objections, because if what you have is genuinely the right thing for the person, which is the secret to objection handling, if it's the right fit and you can actually help them, instead of seeing objections as like a one-way street where you're like battling them to try and get them on board, you want to work with them to overcome the objection. So you almost want to imagine that you're like, right, join my team and we'll look at this objection together and figure out what we can do to get you past it, because we're in this together and it's a collective and we both know we can, have something good happen here, but there's just something in the way and we need to overcome it. So basically the point here is you want to see objection handling as like something you do for them, not against them, if that makes sense. So like, I can't tell you how many people we've got into the program, we've helped them overcome their objections, and then they buy the agency program we have, the Imperium agency program, and like 4 months later, they message me just randomly like, thank you so much for being persistent on that sales call, because I wasn't going to buy, but you made me buy, and now it's the best thing I've ever done. And that's the sort of like attitude you need to have when you're going into the objection handling phase, because you have to create this dynamic where they're like, I'm not sure, and you're like, come on, like, hold my hand, I'm going to pull you along, I'm going to put you on my back and, like carry you to the decision. So you have to basically perceive objection handling as a collective. Instead of seeing it as like us versus them, you want to see it as us and them versus the objection, because two tends to be much better than one. And you can frame this in all sorts of ways. So like a practical example is the one I gave earlier, or you could say something like, so look, John, we've got a brilliant fit. I think we can both recognize that it's a pretty good fit, right? Yeah, cool, okay. So we know it's a fit, and we've got this. You've just laid out that this is the reason that you can't come on board. Do you want to work with me to try and overcome that? right? And then you just shut up, and then they'll be like, actually, yeah, okay. And then you just got their permission to just completely attack, right, their objection, and they're also on your side. This won't work if they're giving you bullshit. So if someone's like, oh, let me talk to a business partner, but they actually haven't got a business partner, they're just too polite to say they don't want to do the thing. You can't really do this until you've established what the true objection actually is. So like if someone says, I want to talk to my business partner, I'd be like, oh, I didn't know you had a business partner, because we would have qualified them before. He'd be like, yeah, well, he's actually a silent business partner, and like, he doesn't really, he's not too involved in the business. I was like, well, you haven't mentioned him at all throughout this call, so that indicates to me that you're the main person that would make this decision, but you're just a bit worried to do that on your own. Is that right? And they'd be like, yeah, to be honest, I just want a second opinion. It's like, all right, well, that's exactly what I'm here for, right? You can see how you sort of like transition this into a sort of teamwork, collective style approach. It's a very good way of doing objection handling. And it does just, sometimes you just need to help people get out of the way of themselves. And you need to help them overcome that emotion. Because really, like, the main thing with objection handling is all you have to do is build enough confidence. Like, that's really the key to hold any sort of objection, is just understanding that they're in a position, they're in an emotional state of doubt and perhaps a bit of anxiety, maybe some fear. And your job is basically to say, look, I recognize these emotions. I know they make you feel uncomfortable, and I know that buying will maybe extenuate them for a limited period of time, and that's not pleasant for you. However, in the long term, those emotions will completely fade away, or you might get those emotions, but with a bigger problem that we help you, because solutions create problems, and that could create more pain for you down the line. But for now, like, what's more painful, Mr. Prospect? Making a decision to purchase something that actually helps you solve this problem, which, by the way, is guaranteed to work, or not making a decision and sitting with the problem for a much longer period of time. And you just shut up, and you give them two options. They're like, oh, what must I? So that's just a quick, like, real small little tweak to make. Right, with objection handling, just the mindset like tweak I'm thinking about here is just don't see it as you versus them. See it as you and them versus the objection, and try to get them on your side, so that when you are handling the objection, it's almost like, you can do a lot more damage from the inside, if that makes sense. So that's everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, you can just like it, because, well, there's literally a button to say you liked it. You can comment any other video suggestions you might have, and also subscribe, because I do release 3 videos like this on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, unless I, of course, am suffering from COVID. But that's everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the links, there'll be 2 links. I just said links for some reason. It's quite early. And there'll be 2 links in the description. Both of them are designed to sell you something. If you want to check out how our program works, you can look at both of them. Talk to you soon. Have a good day.